Well, just thrilled that we pulled this out. I thought our first half it was phenomenal. I thought that really obviously separated us. Played such good defense. We knew they would not just score 18 points in the second half. We knew we had to score. We got to the point where we really couldn't, the foul trouble got us into a lot of trouble. They got a lot of free points at the free throw line and got us in foul trouble. And that really just changed the momentum of the game. And I just like the fact that our kids found a way to win. Different kids made shots, different players stepped up in big moments. And that's what you need in this time of season. And if you want to advance, you got to have players that can do that. So I'm proud of our team that was able to do that.
For those on Zoom, use the raise hand function and I will call on you. We'll just go ahead and go with questions for the student athletes.
Yeah, Jeff, with the West Coast Conference. Ellie, you look like you feel like you're in control out there on the court. Can you just talk about your comfort level at this point in your career? And I think it was the first game of your career where you had at least 20 points and 7 assists or more. Just talk about how you're feeling out there right now.
Well, I feel confident by now because I think that I experienced a lot of different defense on me. So right now I just want to stay calm and pose and just try to do the right decision and the right play for my teammates and just play with the clock if we are up and we have the lead or whatever it needs to be done. So
were there moments in the game where you felt like, okay, now I need to go make a basket?
Yeah, of course. I always try to when we need a basket, go in the paint, try to get a look for myself. And if there is not for myself, I try to move the ball outside and try to find the open one.
And Keandra, can you just talk about, as a young player, having someone who's got her experience sort of running the thing?
Yeah, I think it's amazing that we have someone like her. When someone is in trouble, then we can give the ball to Ella and she can do everything. But I think it's also she's a good team player as well. We all trust her with the ball, and if she can't do anything, she will just pass it out. And I think it's amazing, honestly.
Can you both address the difference between the first and second half? You allowed 18 points in the first half and then 58 in the second. I'm sure your coach was thrilled about that in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky on the defense of it, and we tried to be as focused as we could about the personnel, and we try to keep them outside of what they do the best. And I think that we had a great lead for all the game, and of course in the second half they went more aggressive, but I'm just proud of what we did and just happy to play tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree with Eli.
Ellie, with about 2 minutes left, they cut it to 8, and you end up driving and getting some awkward kind of falling away shot to flip in. Can you walk us through that play and how you ended up getting that one to go in?
I don't remember. Wait, I don't remember which one.
I don't remember.
You kind of drove straight to the basket from the top of the key and kind of faded away.
Oh,
like that.
Well, I just started the layup, so was either a turnover or I would try to get a shot. So I think that worked out good for us. Yeah.
Keandra, your first 28 games this year, you had double-digit scoring 3 times. You've got 3 in the last 5 games now. What do you feel like has evolved in your game and kind of has allowed you to free up for more shots and be able to get those shots when you're not just taking threes, but also getting to the rim?
I don't know. I honestly just try to give my best and try to make the right reads, because sometimes I feel like I was too much only outside. So now I'm trying to run the first post down as well, which is helping a lot, because then I'm already in that position, I feel like. So, yeah.
And LA, for you, how much does Keandra kind of evolving that way open up the offense to where you have the ball obviously more often than anyone else, but it creates more space. It allows you guys to space the floor better, and teams really have to close out hard on Keandra, but also now have to account for the fact that she can put it on the deck and get to the lane.
It's so big for us because then we have always an option, and she's just a great shooter. So you always know that you have her and she can make any shot, but also you have her that she can post up with her size, and she's such a great player and she can finish in a lot of different ways. So I think that she has done a great job today and yesterday, and she will tomorrow, and we need that from her. And I'm just so proud of what she's doing and she's bringing right now.
A reminder for those on Zoom to use the raise hand function, and I can unmute you so you can ask a question. Go ahead.
Hi, ladies. Brendan Potts, World Exposure Report. For LA, Laurie wore a shirt during shoot around that said family. And can you just talk about the togetherness of this group and how that kind of helped you guys get the job done down the stretch?
I mean, I think that is the biggest thing about our team. We are like a great group. We love each other and we have each other back. And throughout the season, I think that was like so big for us because it's not easy to like stay together when things are not going great. And right now, I think that we want to do great and we want to show what we can bring all together. And we have an amazing energy from everyone on the bench, whoever is stepping on the court and whoever is just cheering for us. So I think that is like what every team would like to have, and we have that. So it's great.
Any more questions for the student athletes? All right, you guys are free to go. Thank you. All right, questions for the coach?
Coach, I'll just ask you the same question I just asked Ellie and Keandra. Can you just talk about Keandra's evolution again? These last 5 games, it just seems like it's a different player out there and someone that went from maybe not sure if you can count on night to night to she's one of your trusted players, especially these last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think Key's been someone that is, when she's on, we have a chance to win a lot of games. I mean, and she's such a talented offensive player. And her biggest thing is, I mean, it sounds so simple, like turn and look at the basket when you catch it, because she can shoot from great distance. She's a great 3-point shooter. And, and you should take every one of those if they don't guard you. And she's getting in with mixes where people are a little bit soft on her and she could score it. And she's too quick to put the ball on the floor sometimes. But she's also an amazing player off the bounce and her step throughs. And at the end of her dribble, she can create right and left-handed shots and runners and outside her body and things that you just usually would say that's a terrible shot. And she has the ability to make those over and over and over and over. She has the ability. So it was really more of a disappointment during the year when she was struggling and couldn't find her way. And one of the things that she mentioned, I mean, she's so good around the basket. We tried to get her to quit just, running to behind the 3-point line. She does it to be a first post down because she really can create a basket for herself. We don't have very many people, playmakers on our team that can create a shot for themselves. And Key is actually one of those players that can really, give her the ball in certain spots on the floor and she'll create a really great look for herself. And so need her to have that offensive mentality coming off the bench, and certainly is a big plus when we get it.
Can you just talk about the mental fortitude of the team? I mean, I think, for a variety of reasons, this would have been an easy game to kind of, lose composure and just with maybe how some of the whistles were going. But you guys obviously didn't do that. They never got any closer than 5, and that was, in the dying seconds. With such a young team, especially when you consider a couple of your veterans were on the bench in foul trouble or fouled out, what did you kind of see from some of your younger players? And then maybe even someone like LA, who maybe doesn't have the biggest personality, but obviously had some kind of leadership involved in helping you guys see that one out?
Well, first with LA, I think you can tell because I didn't take her off the court. So, I mean, just trying to get her minutes off the court it needs to be a priority of mine. But, just a game where, she's so effective with the ball. She's a great ball handler, needing ball handling in certain spots. She's great, creating, again, playmaker. She creates a shot. She not only creates a shot for herself, but she creates shots for other people. So it's really hard to take her off the floor. Phenomenal pressure. Nothing bothers her. She hates to lose, but you don't really see it in her. But she hates to lose, but she wants the ball in her hands, and she's not bothered by pressure. The bigness of the moment, she's not bothered by. And then I thought there were so many players that stepped into some really, really big moments. Marta made a reverse layup that I thought was critical. Had a couple of runouts in layups. Tanya made one, and then I thought I think Shasha made 2 threes that were just kind of backbreaking, answered on the other end of the floor. Key made one. So those young players that, again, it feels like it's worth more than 3 points when you make it and when you take it, and it feels like if you miss it, it's a negative. And so for them to step into that and make those shots were, I think, key for us. And I think it's a great step for our young players to get to play in these kind of moments and succeed in them.
They cut it to, I want to say as close to 7 or 8 before her shot, obviously. What's kind of going wrong for you guys in that stretch? How did you guys end up kind of pulling yourselves out of that spot?
Well, I mean, we just got some, over aggressive fouls. I'm not saying they weren't fouls. I just thought the game changed a little bit in how they called. They were posting us up. We were trying to be fronting and we got a foul on that. We played behind and we got a foul on that. Out in space, we got some fouls. So all of a sudden they were shooting free throws with 7 minutes or 6 minutes to go, and everything was just at the rim. And along with that was my fault. I mean, Alex picked up a third foul and I didn't get her out fast enough. And, my bench is saying, sometimes the bench is saying, let her play, let her play. I probably know better. And before I could get her out, within 30 seconds, she gets a fourth. And for us, that was brutal. Because again, now they have matchups. I mean, she's a matchup that at least makes, winner have to think about someone playing behind her. And they just went ISO ball in there and we couldn't really guard winner in there. And that created other things for them. So I just think the matchups they got the better of the matchups in the second half. And we tried to piece it together based on foul trouble. Alex comes back and picks up another one just like that, and we can't use her there. So it's a real credit to our team that we could piece it together and pull out a win when we didn't have some of the matchups we wanted in the game.
Kamie, I think you guys came in here having won 2 in a row for the first time all year, and now you're at 4 in a row, and it must feel like a great win streak. But how does that translate to tomorrow? You're playing a team that got you a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, the 4 in a row is more of a sad statement than anything, but we gotta celebrate any little thing that we have. So we will, and they're thrilled for what they're putting together right now. And Portland has had our number for a while. They put us in position to really have to make plays, and tomorrow is a game where we have to have really solid playmakers. And that doesn't mean you got to make a bunch of threes and things like that, but you got to be smart with the ball, and you can't, they've really hurt us with some of our turnovers that turn into easy baskets for them. So, a tough turnaround, 3 games in 3 days, but I know our team is super excited. They took the challenge of kind of scouting Pacific without much work and just the film and learning the scout and doing all those things the right way. We got to do that again against Portland and know that we got to have 40-minute effort against a really good quality team that, like you said, has taken it to us a little bit.
Does this feel like a little bit of a different team now, though?
Feels like a team that I think that's matured, that is managing, the pressure situations, that are making plays in moments of, someone separates himself in games. And, today we started out great in the first half, although I didn't think the first 2 minutes were. I thought we kind of got punched in the face a little bit, but I thought our last 18 minutes of the first half were amazing. And even that's a big thing for our team. It was a big thing. So, and then handling the adversity that we were enduring a little bit in the second half and finding people that could really create an opportunity for us to succeed. And again, that was a lot of different people for our team. So it's always an amazing thing when we can have 4 and 5 people in double figures, or 5 almost to the double figures. We can succeed there. Now we might need to shore up our defense a little bit in the second half, but excited about the fact that we had so many people close to double figures.
Hey, Coach. Malia Rood had 9 rebounds. One of them was crucial down the stretch. Can you just talk about her effort on the boards and how important that was to get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, again, just a freshman that just is willing to do whatever you ask them to do. And again, she can make 3. She can stretch the D. She's a little mismatched sometimes on certain people athletically in the post, but she's willing to do whatever that we're asking her to do. She comes in, she's completely different than Alex, and that's probably a great thing. She also screens better than anybody on our team. So she creates opportunities for other people, and she takes a lot of pride in that. The fact that she's getting rebounds is huge. The fact that she pulled that down was big for us. So yeah, we need that double punch in the post in the 5 spot with those 2. And then you could add Lauren in there that needs to be a little bit different than either of them. So really feel good about our 5 spot. We just need to keep them on the floor and not get into so much foul trouble.
Thank you, Coach.
Go Cougs.
WSU Girls welcome back post-game show, and again, pinch hitting for head coach Kamie Ethridge as associate head coach Laurie Koehn. Coach, survive and advance. We talked about this yesterday. You've done that. You're off to the third round. Congratulations again on a nice win here today.
Yes, thank you. We made it interesting, but you know, Pacific's been this all year. They've just been a gritty, tough, always get back and scratch and claw, no matter, you know, how far you get them down. So we knew they were going to come out fighting.
Meanwhile, for you, again, got off to the great start. We've kind of talked about this in the past, the team that's been here at the tournament, that's gotten into the flow a little bit more, and you guys took advantage of that and got off to a nice lead at halftime. And again, LA, 16 first half points on the way to 22. I mean, again, just having her leadership out there and leading the way is so big for us in this one.
Huge, and I mean, obviously she's playing against double teams most of the game. She's always drawing the longest and most athletic defender on her. You know, that's her matchup always. And at some point, I looked down, I think in the middle of the fourth quarter, and she had over 20 points, 7 assists, and 1 turnover. She finished with 3 turnovers, but I don't know how those exactly came. But just an unbelievable game and effort from her.
Meanwhile, we talked a little bit about our bench yesterday. Again, you outscore Pacific 28-22. Keandra, once again, big for us. I mean, Malia right there on the doorstep with double digits. I mean, when you take a look, and especially with Alex Colville and her limited minutes due to the foul trouble, just the collection of the group that was able to fill those minutes where you talk about how big that was.
Well, I couldn't be more proud of, you know, like you said yesterday, that group that came in the second quarter and really sparked us, and that was pretty much all bench players. And then again today to back it up, and you know, just huge minutes from Key, from Marta, obviously from Malia. She's been doing that all year, but I think, you know, this just really serves us for the future and where we're going with this team, because I think our depth is starting to become a weapon for us. But yeah, like we say all the time, we got to have Key scoring, and I think today and yesterday she was putting on display, I think, what we're going to see from this kid as she gets older and older.
Couple of times in the second half, I remember a couple of big threes right when Pacific was making some runs. Key had a huge one when they were on like a 6-8-0 run, and that got us back to a double-digit lead, or pushed it back out to 14, something like that. I can't remember exactly. And then with a minute 20 left to play, we inbound the ball, and it's kind of like, okay, we could use some clock, maybe work some clock. But Shasha, she's open. We know she's a shooter. Buries that three for you. Talk about, again, those two players, and Shasha finding a way to hit big buckets when needed.
Just so proud of Shasha. I mean, I think that's just growth competitively, and with her competitive maturity to have the kind of first half that she did. I mean, I think she played 3 minutes and obviously didn't play the rest of the half because of foul trouble. You know, in the past, she's a kid that I joke all the time, like she's got anger management. Like she gets really, you know, upset with those sort of things. And sometimes that can take her out of a game or really just mess with her head. And so for her to, you know, I think in a million ways, she kind of sealed it for us with her free throws, with that big 3 in the corner that pushed the lead up to 10 with, just like you said, a little more than a minute left. So just super proud of those two guys, and, you know, young players that this is just a really valuable experience for them, and to be able to step up where when things aren't really going right for us and we're facing a lot of adversity, not just from a tough Pacific team, but also just, you know, a little bit with our fouls and having to play careful and all that kind of stuff is just huge for those two.
Last couple of quick things I got for you before I let you go. As we take a look at this game, I know that, again, with so much youth on this team, there's times as the members of this coaching staff, you're probably just going, with the mistakes that are being made. But what I also love about this team, it's all from trying to do something to try and maybe too much effort. It's not because they don't care. It's not because they're being lazy. And that's what I love about this team. Yeah, they're out there making mistakes, but it's because they care so much about each other as teammates and as this team. And that's where the mistakes are made. And that's just going to get better with experience, you would think.
It's so true. I mean, the ridiculous fouls that I thought there were some fouls that some calls that didn't go our way.
Have been the way it was, but I get what you're saying.
It didn't go our way, but you know, when you have a night like that where you maybe don't have what you're hoping for in a crew, you can't have the really stupid ones, where you're just 90 feet from the basket and you're just, and you're right. It's because they're trying so hard to make a play. They want to get a steal. They want to get the ball, but those are areas where we've got to get better fast because we cannot shoot ourselves in the foot and we can't play, an entire second half in foul trouble from here on out.
Yeah, rest and recovery, I'm sure, important over the next 24 hours because we've got a Portland team that's coming in, and again, it should be a great matchup tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a little practice today against a press, so that was great from Pacific that we were able to have to go against that because we don't have time, obviously, with a noon game to have a shoot around and get ready. So hopefully, we can learn a little bit from our press break today.
All right, I remember Coach Ethridge a couple times early this season talking about goo and gur, maybe a little bit of goo and gur here in Vegas.
Goo and gur. Let's keep it going. Yeah.
All right, Coach. We'll see you
All right,
tomorrow.
thanks, Steve.